Hello there, welcome to another exciting tutorial here on the Genius Studios Lab. I am Derek Keels, your host, and today we're going to be going over an After Effects tutorial where I show you how to embed video into your lower thirds, something that's very, very simple. At least it's simple the way I'm doing it. It's not very complicated or complex, but it does, really add a lot to your videos. And so without much further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First thing we need to do is we need to open up a composition. So we're going to go to Composition, New, and the settings that I have are 1280 by 720. In other words, this is a 720p video. The duration is going to be 10 seconds. Background color is black, 29.97 frames per second, and hit OK. And now we have our composition set up. So now all we have to do is add a video. And so I already have a video that I've created here called Blue Space, and I will include this video with the project file just underneath the like button on this video. So as you're hitting the like button, go ahead and download these the project file, and it should contain this video for you. And so this is something I just made really quickly in After Effects, nothing really fancy and special, but just something I made so that we could do this tutorial. So now we have our video, and it's put inside of our composition. So that's pretty cool there. Next thing we're going to do is come over here to the rectangle tool. And once we have the rectangle tool, we're just going to click and drag like so. Perfect. And now I'm going to move it down. All right, so pretty cool there. That's pretty simple, actually. I know you were probably expecting something to be really hard, but that's actually very easy. Now you have this lower third with this video that's going on inside, so that's pretty cool. Next thing we need to do, well, before we do that, I'm going to go off script just a little bit, and I'm going to show you something that you can do if you want to, maybe alter the color of this lower third. I'm just going to go up here and go to Effect. Click on the blue space, and then go to Effect, and I'm going to go to Color Correction, and we're going to go to Hue and Saturation. That brings up a master hue, and there's a little knob here that you can turn. And so as you can see, as I rotate this knob, as I click and drag, the colors of my lower third actually change. And so you can actually change your lower third color pretty easily. It's not something that's very hard to do. So you can, alter the colors. You don't have all that much control over it, but you can change the overall hue and look of your lower third. So that's kind of cool. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and delete that. We're just going to leave it blue for now. And the next thing we need to do is we need to add text. So I'm going to come over here to my Horizon Type tool, and I'm just going to add some text. And I'm going to just type in "your text goes here." Perfect. And I'm just going to click and drag it down over top of my rectangle. And to my text, I want to add a drop shadow. So I'm going to go into the Layer and Layer Styles and go into Drop Shadow. Now I can adjust, the various attributes of the drop shadow, but don't need to do all that right now. I just add it, and I'll just leave it as is since this is a simple tutorial. And now I have my lower third and my text over top of my lower third, and the text stands out from the substrate just a little bit there. So that's a nice added little effect there. And now all I have to do is animate the text and animate the lower third, and I'm done and ready to render out. And so I'm going to do a very simple animation just by simply fading the lower third in and fading it out, and doing the same thing with the text. And so I'm going to click on the blue space layer, which is my rectangle, and I'm going to hit T to bring up the opacity. And I'm going to bring the opacity all the way down to 0, bring my current time indicator to the 0 mark, and then bring it to 0, and then hit my stopwatch. And then at 2 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and make it 95 and hit enter. So it comes in at 95%. I'm going to go all the way down to the 9-second mark. I'm going to add another keyframe by clicking right here on the add or remove keyframe button, and it adds another keyframe at 95%. And then I'm going to go all the way to the end of my composition, the 10-second mark, and hit 0. So in effect, what I've done is I've made it fade in. It's going to stay on at 95% opacity, and then fade out. Perfect. Now all we have to do is do our text layer. I'm going to actually move my text layer by dragging here on this part here, and just move this down to 2 seconds, so that nothing happens with the text until 2 seconds. So the text is going to show up after 2 seconds. Basically, I want the text to show up after the rectangle is already there. So all I've got to do now is animate the text in a little bit. I'm going to do kind of the same thing by fading it in. So I'm going to click on it, hit T to bring up the opacity, then bring it down to 0. I'm going to hit the stopwatch, and I'm going to bring it up to move my current time indicator to 3 seconds, and then I'm going to bring it to 100%. So it's going to come in at 100%. At 8 seconds, I'm going to add another keyframe by clicking over here, and then I'm going to go to 9 seconds. Just as the rectangle starts to fade out, I'm going to make this 0. So now, in effect, everything's going to, the rectangle fades in, and then the words that you want to go on there fade in. It's going to stay on, it's going to stay on. The words are going to fade out, and then the rectangle is going to fade out. And so that's good. Now we're ready to render this out. So all I do is go to Composition, Add to Render Queue, go to Lossless Files. Just go to Lossless. Now, I don't know why I threw in the Files word. Go to Lossless, and we're going to click on QuickTime, and we're going to go to RGB plus Alpha. What that does is that renders the alpha channel so that all of this black area will be clear, so we can put a video underneath our lower third. Otherwise, when you render it out, all the black area will be there, and you won't actually be able to use it over top of a video, which is absolutely useless as a video. And then you just go to your output 2, and you click, you name it, and you put it where you want it to go. So let me flip over here to Premiere really quickly. I already have a video that's I already have ready to go, and this is just a quick little video here that I have, you know, of my pastor here. He's talking and whatnot. That's great. And we're going to just take the video, lower third. All you have to do is go up here to File, Import, and you're going to import your video lower third that you just created, and then you just, you drag it from your timeline here and you put it over top of your video. So anyway, that's how that's done. So now when you click your current time indicator and drag over, you can see that your lower third comes in, and because you rendered it with the alpha channel, all of the black area that was in your composition is now clear, and you can see the video underneath it. And there you have it. So it's not something that's really hard to do, but it does add a certain level of professionalism to your videos. So if you like this video, please click the like button. It'll really help me out. And make sure you download the project file if you want to use the project file to help you with your own videos. And so anyway, that's it for me. I thank you for joining us here on the Genius Studios Lab, and I will see you on the next tutorial.